We believe that literacy is a human right. That means it's not an optional thing. It's not just for some kids. It's not just for some people. It's not just in some situations. Literacy is essential to our lives. It's essential for young children. Literacy is about reading, of course, that's what everyone thinks of, but it's also about writing. It's about understanding your world, putting things in context. For young children, it is the beginning of developing self-confidence and a sense of power over their lives. Ready Readers is unique because of our focus on different aspects of reading. We tackle it in 3 really important ways. First, we want to make sure we are reading aloud to kids. Kids aren't ages 3 and 4, they're not reading on their own, so they need to be read aloud to. They need to hear the sounds and the words and the rhyming and the language. Reading aloud is really important. Second, we develop relationships with kids because reading literacy happens in relationships. That's true for young children. It's also true for us and adults. Reading happens in relationships, so we develop relationships with young kids. And third, we make sure kids have books in their homes that represent who they are, that are interesting to them, that are engaging, that are fun to read. So those 3 things, we read aloud, we develop relationships, and we make sure kids have books in their homes.
Ready Readers has impacted my students because it's just given them a love of reading. It's great to see them excited about having the Ready Reader volunteer come in and engage them with books and songs and singing and dancing.
Within that 30 minutes that we spend together, you can see the ways in which they really respect story time. You can see the students who over the course of the year, it's really important. They want to hear every word. They want to see every illustration. And I think there's this really wonderful sense of community that gets built in the classroom during the time that we're together for Ready Readers, because they value that time and they don't want to miss out and they don't want their friends to miss out. And so it becomes this really special space for all of us.
Books provide a mirror for kids that they can see themselves reflected in what they're reading. And when we do that, we know that we create interest for kids, right? The kids are interested in books where they can see themselves.
Books can be very powerful. Books are really magical. The students that I've worked with are from very different backgrounds, and there would be students of color, and for those students to see themselves in those books was great, because sometimes they would not see themselves in literature, and to have a book that they were given where they see themselves was a wonderful gift.
One of the things I love most about Ready Readers is that we are helping kids build their own personal libraries. And so not only are they taking a book home, they've read it with us 2 or 3 times. And so they're sharing it with a sibling or a parent, even though they can't read the words on the page yet. They look at the illustrations, they understand the story, they're connecting to the emotions, they are thinking about what happens next. So it's all the pieces of storytelling, of connecting to a character, of sharing that with friends, of recognizing your name. When you hold up a name tag in the middle of the year and say, this one starts with K, whose name is this? And they all know their friend's name, right? It's recognizing all of those pieces, nursery rhymes, songs. There's so many pieces of it that prepare them for all of the ways that we use literacy every day in the world as adults too.
So we know that kids' vocabulary when they're going into kindergarten is a key predictor for how they're going to be reading when they get to the 3rd grade. So we help make sure kids have a great vocabulary, are ready to learn to read when they get into kindergarten, because we know that that helps them when they get to 3rd grade. When they get to 3rd grade, kids have to be able to, they know how to read, because after that they have to read to be able to learn. So we know that if kids are reading at grade level when they get to 3rd grade, they have all kinds of better life outcomes. They are more likely to graduate from high school. They are more likely to have better paying jobs. They are less likely to be involved with the criminal justice system. It has impacts that last a lifetime. So much happens in a child's brain before the age of 5. It is the beginning of everything. It creates the foundation for all the learning that will happen later in life. And when children hear sounds, when they see pictures, when they see words in the beginning of their life, it makes an incredible difference later on.